Hello and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect and sometimes collide. I don't know if there'll be any collisions today, but there certainly is some news. Sheryl Swoopes, you'll remember her. She has made the news today. But before I get into that news, I want to tell you a little bit about Sheryl Swoopes' accomplishments in case you didn't know. You might be saying, why are you telling us about Sheryl Swoopes' accomplishments? That was some time ago. Just bear with me. I'm going to share some of her accomplishments. Some you may know, some you may not know, and then I'll bring the whole thing together. Sheryl Swoopes is a four-time WNBA champion, three-time WNBA MVP, six-time WNBA All-Star, WNBA All-Star Game MVP, five-time All-WNBA First Team, three-time WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, two-time WNBA Champion, WNBA All-Decade Team, WNBA Top 15, WNBA Top 20, first WNBA player signed. For USA Basketball, three-time Olympic gold medalist. Some other notable awards and accomplishments: NCAA champion, NCAA tournament most outstanding player, Naismith College Player of the Year, inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, first woman to have a Nike shoe named after her, first woman player to record a playoff triple-double, first WNBA player to record a triple-double. All this information is available right there when you Google Sheryl Swoopes accomplishments. Now, as many of you already know, I was a serious Sheryl Swoopes fan. I was a serious Houston Comets fan. So I loved me some Cynthia Cooper, number one. I love Sheryl Swoopes. I love my Comets. I love rooting them on to championships. They were amazing. Amazing is an understatement. And Sheryl Swoopes, whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not, was a huge part of that. That list of accomplishments is just off the chart. So why do you bring that up today, Adrienne? Well, as we know, Sheryl Swoopes made the news in reference to the Indiana fever and what her expectations are, or what she believes is possible for this Indiana fever team. First, I want to show you what she said, and then we'll talk about how all this fits together, her accomplishments, as well as the Indiana fever team she's talking about right here. I am over at a classy tea party on X.
The team that I feel made the biggest moves, maybe even the best moves, that would be the Indiana Fever. I think the Indiana Fever went from just being in the playoffs last season to potentially winning a championship. You add the OG DeWanna Bonner, who plays both ends of the floor, who's a competitor, Natasha Howard, who's another OG, who's going to bring the defensive presence. And then you're bringing back Aaliyah Boston, who continues to get better every single year. Can we talk about Kelsey Mitchell, who is just a walking bucket? How much stronger Caitlin got in the offseason. You know, she's in the gym working on her game. This Indiana Fever team, they have put the pieces together in this offseason, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
First, I have to say this because that's how my sense of humor goes. It's interesting to me when she says they can win a championship. She whispers it.
To potentially winning a championship.
They could win a championship. It's just kind of funny. But on the serious note, I brought up Sheryl Swoopes' accomplishments because this is not a person who doesn't know basketball, who doesn't know potential for great things in basketball. Had Sheryl Swoopes said anything other than what she said, it would be completely ridiculous. It's something Stephen A. Smith, of all people, had said when he got on her, when she totally ignored Caitlin Clark after the Olympic break. She started naming off players, didn't mention Caitlin Clark at all. It was so obvious. And one of the things Stephen A said, and he was right then, was everybody understands, everybody who's been around for a while understands what Sheryl Swoopes has done, understand that she understands basketball. And by leaving out Caitlin Clark, it just looked extremely petty. And it was extremely obvious because you know basketball, because you played the game, because you've excelled on the collegiate level and in the professional level and in the Olympics. So we know you know basketball. So when you leave out Caitlin Clark, it just makes things look terrible, because anybody who knows anything knows that you know everything that there could possibly be about basketball in terms of who is a talent in the game. So had Sheryl Swoopes not said anything, it would have looked really, really bad. And it looked bad in the past, whether she said something that was not true about Caitlin, whether she seemed to try to diminish Caitlin, or whether she said nothing while she was in a game where the co-commentator says something about Caitlin winning athlete of the week or month or whatever the one of the how many accolades Caitlin had, and she said nothing. So besides all that, we're heading into a new season, and the pieces the Indiana Fever put together are so obviously an upgrade that you can't diminish Caitlin without diminishing the other players. It's one thing, albeit not good, it's one thing if you're diminishing Caitlin Clark for whatever Sheryl Swoopes' reasons have been, or ignoring her, or whatever, getting her information wrong, whatever you want to call it. But with this team, with the pieces this organization put together because people wanted to come to Indiana and wanted to play with Caitlin, or as Natasha Howard said, I can't wait to catch Caitlin's passes. You can't ignore that or downplay that without also downplaying the people she mentioned, without downplaying Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner. You can't do it. She didn't mention every person, but thinking about the team, the players who have won championships, the players who've been to the finals, you'd have to be completely clueless to not just say they can win a championship.
Winning a championship.
And one thing we know about Sheryl Swoopes is she's not clueless. She's been there and done that. I gave you the list. And I said this before, months ago during the last season, certain things that were being done. I'm like, everybody's like, she's out of her mind. She's lost it. And I said, Sheryl Swoopes has not lost anything. Sheryl Swoopes knows too much about the game, has done too much with the game. Whatever she's doing is by design. She's not somebody off the street who's never played a game or done anything in the game. So all those other things are she's well aware of what she's doing. And in this situation, that's how good this team looks. That Sheryl Swoopes has to say, with her whole basketball reputation on the line, has to say that this team is a team that can do great things like
Winning a championship.
And I don't know if they're going to get there this year or not, whether they're going to win it all or not. I hope so. On paper, it looks pretty good. But teams have ups and downs, and we better keep that in mind. But the pieces there, yeah, you got to acknowledge it. And again, your whole basketball reputation is on the line. It was already on the line last year, and we see where that went. Certainly this year. I want to say something else, because people are already working the narrative that, oh, they had to go out and drag people in or coerce people to come in, or, it's the fixes in, hurt all those narratives. I want to again point out that while people were trying to say, including Sheryl Swoopes, it seems, that Kelsey Mitchell should leave, or that people don't want to come play in Indiana. People in the locker room are trying to leave. All those things are out there. Nobody grabbed anybody by the neck and threw them into Cambridge. You hear people saying they wanted to be here. This team, as good as these players are, as much experience as they have, it's going to be, you got to gel, you got to put it together, you've got to do the work. So when it's all said and done, no narrative that they didn't earn it, the commissioner gave it to them, they grabbed people and made them come, whatever, who knows what they're going to say. Leave it to ESPN, they'll come up with something. The fact of the matter is people wanted to come because they believe this organization believes in them. And so they're going to put the work in, and it's going to be work because it's not easy. It's not easy. On paper is one thing, putting on the court is another thing. But I'm going to agree with Sheryl Swoopes on this. The person who knows what she's talking about because she's been there and done that and has the basketball resume to prove it, no matter what she's said before, I'm going to agree with her on this.
Winning a championship.
They could win a championship. That's all I got to say about that. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.